Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls alike, welcome back. It's time for the 10th edition of the Save the Crew vlog, and this one's for you, Terry Barber Jr. Not like you need me to tell you this, but vlog is a word that is a combination of two existing words. The first one is video, and the second one is blog, and vlog. Today's topic? It's never too late to make the right business decision. Now, we currently find ourselves in a situation where the continuing silence from Precourt Sports Ventures and Major League Soccer in regard to the future of the Columbus Crew outside of the city of Austin, that is. Well, that silence is deafening. And it tells me that maybe my previous vlog about why it's never too late to do the right thing, maybe it wasn't relevant to those in power. Maybe you watched it, and since I was talking about why this is the right thing to do from a human perspective, maybe you couldn't relate. Maybe it tuned right out. Now that was my fault. Maybe I needed to better understand my audience. And I probably needed to remember that how I was saying something, in this case, in this specific scenario, because of the audience, was in fact more important than what I was actually trying to communicate. For instance, if you call me up and you start talking to me about how Andres Mendoza is the greatest player in franchise history, clearly, I'm going to agree with that. But if you call me on the telephone and you start talking to me about how Andres Mendoza is the greatest player in franchise history in Cantonese, even though I do agree with that, I'm not gonna have any idea what you're saying, because I don't speak Cantonese. Zang! That's a Wayne's World joke. I like Wayne's World. So let's go ahead and use the language of business, a language with which I'm sure that you're very familiar. But before we do that, before we get down to brass tacks, as they're saying on the streets, I'd like to, if I could, go ahead and walk you through a typical week in the life of yours truly. But Morgan, why is it a week in your life? Why not someone else's life? Are you trying to make this thing entirely about yourself? It's a week in my life because I'm me. Like you, I don't live anybody else's life. So I can only speak from a position of certainty when it comes to my life, my day-to-day, my experiences. For the sake of this discussion, let's hop in our 1991 Pontiac Grand Dams and get them up to 88 miles an hour. We are time traveling a mere 5 weeks into the future, my friends, and it's Monday, March 5th, 2018. Hooray! It's Christmas week, everybody. We're closing in on the 2018 season opener against your local Montreal Drogba Leglocks. Now, after work on this Monday, you're gonna find a group of us pesky Crew fans at Endeavor Brewing Company in Grandview for our weekly Save the Crew leadership meeting. Now, these typically last anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, and there are always smaller meetings, either before the main event starts or long after the main event has concluded. All in, we're talking somewhere like 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., something like that. Tuesday rolls around and it's time to get to work on the latest Tifo Sweat project for the upcoming game on Saturday. Tonight we'll be laying out, cutting, and sewing fabric, and we're gonna need all the help we can get. Now, it's a slow process, and it is absolutely critical that we get all of the sewing done in one night. We are going to stick around and we are going to finish sewing this banner, no matter how long it takes. Once it's done, we fold it up, put it away, and lug all of our materials and all of our crap back out to our cars in the parking lot. We then head home to cram something down our throats, which might be in some way confused with what you would call dinner. But it's not dinner, it's like desperation in the form of food. It's Wednesday now, so it's time to trace that banner. Now, this is the biggest pain in the ass of the entire process, as there aren't just like an abundance of places to easily hang an 80-foot solid piece of fabric. And even if there were, standard duty ladders can only reach so high. Because of that, you need to hang, remove, and rehang this giant ass piece of fabric countless times. And each time you need to make sure that you're carefully aligning the section that you just traced with the section that you're about to trace in order to make sure you don't completely screw up this project before a drop of paint is even applied to the surface. Oh, and since it's such a massive piece of fabric, you're gonna need to do this outside because there aren't inside spaces that are big enough for this to work. Also, you're only going to be able to trace this thing after the sun has completely gone down. Thankfully, it's March, so it gets dark relatively early right now. If we're doing this thing in August, when the sun doesn't set until 9:30 or later, good luck getting sleep in Columbus during MLS season is what I'm trying to say. Thursday is here, shitlords, and it's time to record the latest, the lamest, and possibly last episode of Aces Radio, a Buffalo Bills podcast only. So gather up all your equipment, all your podcasting necessities, and head on back to Endeavor Brewing Company. The recording starts at 7 p.m., but you're going to need to get there around 5 in order to get everything set up. With breaks in between the segments factored in, you're getting out of there, you're getting done with that show around 10 to 11 p.m., maybe 10:45. Maybe you're getting home around 11. Editing the segments together, equalizing the various channels of crappy noise, that's going to give you a finished product somewhere around midnight. And that's assuming nothing has gone wrong. If you forget to record segment 3, maybe you're done a little bit earlier. Who can be sure? Now you upload the finished file to your host and you try not to pass out on the stairs as you crawl your ass up to bed. Hell yeah, it's Friday! Work week is finally over and it's time to celebrate. Yeah! Come on! Solonimex! But oh, guess what? You need to start painting that giant-ass Tifo Sweat banner that you sewed and traced on Tuesday and Wednesday at some point in a previous life when you weren't dying from exhaustion. To be safe, you're probably going to have to take a half-day vacation in order to get all of the materials out and laid out and ready to go for when people start showing up around 6 p.m. Once they do show up, you quickly realize that you suck at tracing giant 80-foot pieces of art. So one of your friends is going to have to freehand the rest, the missing parts, the crappy parts of the banner in order to prevent it from looking like the pile of hot garbage that it currently is. Painting takes anywhere from 3 to 5 to 6 hours, and cleaning up all the materials after painting takes another hour on top of that. Hey, it's midnight again, and your body is officially broken. So limp your ass back to the car, drive home, clean yourself up, and pass out on the bathroom floor. You wake up and it is officially Saturday. It's match day here in Cowtown. Oh yeah! But first, peel yourself off the bathroom floor and drive over to the stadium because it's time to pick up the banner. And hopefully enough time has passed between when you left last night and when you get back today so that the banner has dried completely, because you don't like trying to move a giant 80-foot piece of wet fabric by yourself, even if Pam's trying to help you. I mean, if Pam's trying to help you, it's actually more difficult. Now you're going to want to separate the fabric from the plastic sheeting that you put on the ground, which only takes like 45 minutes to an hour, and that's assuming that everything's dry and also that you're one of the strongest cats in the game today. Now you have to perform what's known as an accordion fold on the banner, because it has to be passed from top to bottom in your section that runs bottom to top. And you can't just fold it up in a normal, everyday fashion. If you do that, you're going to quickly deeft or pardoned yourself, and no one wants to see that. Once you're done and your banner is laid out, folded appropriately and ready to go in your section, it's time to drive your stinky ass home and get a quick shower in before turning around and heading right back to the stadium again. Because it's time to hang rail banners and lay out flags. A few hours later, you're done and it's time to head back out to the parking lot for a pre-match beer or two. This is nice. What's that, Terry Barber Jr.? It's 7:30 p.m. It's game time. Time for 90 minutes of Cruisers FC soccer all up inside of your business. The banner goes up, the banner comes down, and Columbus routs the visiting Montreal Drogba Leglocks by a score of, I'm feeling 3-1, bro. After the game, fold up the giant banner, put it away. Collect all the flags that are left that weren't accidentally removed from the stadium and put those away. Now head on back out to the parking lot. After an hour or two of waiting in traffic, you are officially home, my friend. Hooray! Shove some pizza in your face and fall asleep. If you have enough energy to get out of bed on Sunday, your girlfriend's probably gonna make you go to brunch, or it's gonna be your grandmother's stupid birthday. Either way, your day's been ruined. Now you know what a week in the life of yours truly is like. And you're asking yourself, why in the hell did you just tell me this? Why in the hell did I just listen to all of that? And how in the hell is any of it relevant to whatever the hell we were talking about 20 minutes ago? Good question. And here's your answer. Being a supporter of the Columbus Crew takes up a lot of my free time, if not all of my free time. And all of the things that I just talked about, those are all things that happen before 8 a.m. and after 5 p.m. Imagine how much free time I'm going to have if you tear this team away from my community. Now, speaking of my community, I'm only one guy. I'm just one person in this community. Take all the time I spend on crew stuff and take all of the free time I would theoretically have and multiply that times Columbus. Because if you think that any of us are going to ever walk away from this team, even if this team is walked away from us, you are wrong. You are wrong. We are going to be here no matter what. And the Columbus Crew is going to consume our entire lives one way or another. Your choice is whether that time that we spend is going to be used supporting our team or if it's used showing the world what you did to us. That is your choice. That's the choice that you have to make right now, and it is staring you directly in the face. You are standing on the edge of a new reality. Soon you will have either solidified your bond to an entire city of allies, or you will have made enemies of millions of the most massive human beings on planet Earth. So go ahead and ask yourself, which is the better business move? And be honest with yourself, because this is the very future of your corporation that we're talking about. If you choose wrong, you sign all of us up to using all of our newfound free time to tear you down. If you choose right, if you make the right business decision, you get to kick back and relax while an entire city of re-energized soccer fans work together to help build you up. So do the right thing. Make the right business choice. It's never too late to do that. To recap, make what you know in your gut and in your pocketbook to be the smart move. Right this ship and steer this vehicle back inside the lanes. Because I'm telling you, my friends, the objects in your rear view mirror, they are far more massive than they appear. Thank you for watching. And save the crew.
The future of Columbus and the future of the Columbus Crew SC are tied together. We need each other to succeed.